It was almost midnight. There was a lot of shouting, excitement, and giving of directions, but it was all okay because finally my shipping container had arrived home in Ghana, all the way from far off Australia, and I was just glad that I didn't have to pay much duty at the port here in Ghana to clear it. Hi, my name is Koriwa. I recently relocated to Ghana from Australia. I shipped a 20-foot container of my personal effects to Ghana and didn't pay much duty and taxes at the harbour. So in this video, I'll explain the process of organizing a container shipment, tips on packing and loading the container, clearing your container from Tema Harbour. I'll be detailing all associated costs involved, and I'll explain how you too may avoid paying duty at the port. Kindly hit the like button on this video now so you don't forget to do so later. It will help me out immensely with the YouTube algorithm. Thank you. And now, let's go. So the first step in the shipping to Ghana process is obviously to find a shipping agency that ships to Ghana from your area. In my particular case, I used a shipping company called Cargo Masters, which I found from searching online. I called them to request a quote to ship a 20-foot container from Melbourne to Tema Port in Ghana. I'll give you all the associated costs at the end of the video, so do watch till the end. Once payment is done, they deliver the shipping container to your house if you have the space for it. And if you don't, then you have the option to load your stuff into the container in their yard. I had enough space on my front lawn to accommodate the container, so I had them deliver it to my home. Now, I live in a golf estate where they are very strict with what you can and cannot do in the neighborhood. So I called them up and got permission to pack the container on my lawn for a period of, I think, 1 week. Once that was done, we started loading up the container one day at a time. My items were mostly all wrapped up before the container arrived, so it was all systems go. Now, when it comes to packing, I tried as much as possible to maximize the space in the container, so I did make sure that wherever there was free space, I utilized it to the fullest. So for example, I would pack things into weird spaces like between the legs of this dining chair, turned upside down. I wrapped clothes and other items in any space I could find. I even filled up drawers with various items before wrapping them up. And as you can see, I had various boxes of different shapes and sizes that I had carefully packed with valuable items. And another thing I did was to wrap up smaller individual items and use them for space fillers inside the container itself. So once the container was fully loaded, which took us about 2 to 3 days, the shipping agency came by, locked it up with what they call a seal, which has a special serial number on it, and carted the container away. That bit was really exciting for me because it meant that I was well and truly on my way to Ghana. The shipping company required a packing list of all the items in the container, as well as a shipper's letter of instruction, which simply is a form that has your details and the destination address and other details explaining where your container is going to on it. After that is done, all that is needed is for the shipping agent to give you the bill of lading or the seaway bill, which you will need to clear your container at the port. This usually takes some time to come after the ship has already set sail. In the meantime, my people in Ghana got the services of a clearing agent who gave us tips on how to apply for duty and tax exemption. So apparently, if you're a Ghanaian who has lived overseas and are relocating back to Ghana, you are entitled to duty exemptions and some tax waivers on personal effects that you ship to Ghana. Now, correct me if I am wrong, but this does not apply to items that you are coming to sell or items that are not considered personal effects. And I think it also does not apply to any car or vehicle that you include in the shipment. So for me, this particular container was packed with mostly personal effects. The only 2 items that I had to pay duty on were a new generator and some mattresses that I had in the container. These were brand new, by the way. Right, so in order for your agent in Ghana to be able to apply for this exemption for you, you need to do 2 very critical things. The first is you need to time the arrival of your container to be after you have yourself arrived in Ghana. And 2, Once you arrive in the country, that is when you get to Kotoka Airport, you would need to fill a special form at customs to prove that you have relocated and to declare your container which is yet to arrive. And if I'm not wrong, you need to do this at the airport. I'm not sure if you can do this somewhere else other than the airport. So to make your life easier, just make sure that you fill this form on the day of arrival at the airport before you make your exit. This form is what will be used for the duty exemption application. Without it, you can't apply for the exemption and you will be required to pay full duty and taxes, which can get very expensive. So after you've cleared all arrival formalities at the airport, you need to head to the customs desk or office at the arrivals hall and fill out a PUB declaration form, which simply stands for Passenger Unaccompanied Baggage Declaration. If you go to the desk, the customs officer will ask a couple of questions, cite your Ghanaian passport, and then he or she will fill out the form and give you a copy. Now, please make sure you keep this safe, as well as your boarding pass and other travel documents that proves that you entered the country on the said day. One thing that happened to me was the immigration officers failed to apply an arrival stamp in my Ghanaian passport. So fast forward, when the agent was applying for the exemption, they needed a lot more evidence to prove that I had arrived on a Ghana passport and on the said date. Fortunately for me, we live in this horrid COVID era, so I included the receipt of the COVID test that was administered at Kotoka on arrival to prove that I indeed arrived in Ghana and on the said date. So fast forward again, a couple of weeks after arriving in Ghana, I kept tracking the container, and a couple of days before the container docked, the agent I used started the clearing process and also applied for the duty and tax exemption on my behalf. And the exemption application was approved, but I didn't get 100% exemption. As I stated earlier, I needed to pay duty on a generator and some mattresses. However, please know that you would still need to pay a few other port charges. Those are not included in the exemption. So a lot of revamping is currently going on at the port, and they're really doing a good job to streamline the process and ensure the safety of all shipments. So if you've shipped items to Ghana before, then you know that in the past you needed to go to the harbor with a bunch of your people and sit there all day to make sure that your items don't get stolen at the harbor. But with the new system that is being rolled out at the new terminals, you, the importer, is not even allowed access to the terminal. Only your registered agent goes there to clear your container on your behalf. However, me being me, I insisted that I needed to be at the harbor due to past experience, and I set off very early at dawn to go to the harbor. And as it turned out, I just sat in my car all day until I got tired and went back home. So I really didn't need to be there at all. The process was seamless, and the truck delivered my container with all my items intact. So talk to your agent to find out if you need to be at the port or not. One important tip is to declare all the items in the container. Don't try to outsmart customs by leaving out anything, because it can become very costly to you if you do. I put in some old garden tools, some rake and a hoe at the last minute when we were packing the container, simply because there was some space, but I forgot to add them to the packing list. It was an honest mistake, but one that gave the officials a chance to want to extort some money from my agents. So as much as possible, declare everything on the packing list. Now, once your container is cleared, you have two options to get your items home. The first option is to offload the contents of the container into your own vehicle or rented or hired vehicle. Or the second option is you can take the whole container home, depending on your location, by making a refundable deposit to the shipping line. But you must get the container back to the shipping line within 24 hours, or you forfeit the monies paid. I will explain all the associated costs to do this in a minute. I opted to take the container home to ensure that my items remain safe and also to avoid my valuables from getting damaged due to careless handling. So very quickly, the cost breakdown of shipping a 20-foot container from Melbourne, Australia to Tema, Ghana is as follows. The 20-foot container costs 5,500 Aussie dollars to ship, which is equivalent to 4,300 US dollars as at the time of recording this video today. Now, that amount is obviously going to differ from location to location, but that is what it cost me to ship from Melbourne, Australia to Ghana. Bear in mind that Australia is really far, so it may be cheaper from your end or it may not. Filling out the PUBD form at customs on arrival is completely free of charge. Then the agent charged 6,700 Ghana cedis for all associated clearing charges, including their service fee, which is equivalent to 1,155 US dollars. These charges included terminal charges, local shipping line charges, documentation charges, exemption application, and various agency release charges, which included National Security, Energy Commission, Standards Board, la-di-da-di-da. Now, I suspect that this amount was inflated because the agent was not able to provide me with an itemized invoice to show that they actually paid these monies to the various agencies stated. But that is what I was charged by the agent. And lastly, the amount I paid for duty and taxes after the exemption was applied was 2,100 Ghana cedis, which is equivalent to 362 US dollars. Again, no itemized invoice was given to me, so I suspect that the duty that I paid was actually more than I should have, given that my exemption application was approved. But still, $362 duty and taxes, I can't really complain much now, can I? But that is what I paid. So in total, it cost me 8,800 Ghana cedis to clear my 20-foot container from the harbour, which is equivalent to approximately 1,520 US dollars. Not bad at all. In addition to that, it cost me 1,300 Ghana cedis for the truck that I hired to cart the container to my premises and to deliver the empty container back to the port. So I had to have my people ready to offload the container as soon as it arrived at my premises. 1,300 Ghana cedis is equivalent to 224 US dollars. Now, with regards to taking my items together with the container, I paid a deposit of 300 Ghana cedis, which is refundable if the container gets back to the shipping line within 24 hours. So I got that money back. So in essence, taking your items home in the container is free if your location allows for the return of the container. If not, it comes with some charges depending on how long it takes to get the container back to them. So all up, the container from Melbourne to Ghana was 5,500 Aussie dollars, which is equivalent to 4,300 USD. Port charges and agent service fees was 6,700 Ghana cedis, which is equivalent to 1,155 US dollars. Duty and taxes after exemption was 2,100 Ghana cedis, which is equivalent to 362 US dollars. Transporting the container and all items in it from the port to my premises was 1,300 Ghana cedis, which is equivalent to 224 US dollars. And taking the container was free because, like I said, it was refundable, totaling 6,041 US dollars to get my items shipped from Australia, cleared at the harbour, and sent to my premises in Ghana. So there you have it. I shipped my stuff from Australia and the process was pretty seamless, and I'm satisfied with the service all round. I hope this video was helpful. Kindly like this video and share with your community, and become part of my community by subscribing to this channel because I have more goodies coming your way. And I will see you in the next video.
Finally, at last.